If you're looking for great sound on a budget for your OBS pickup trucks, here are the top 3 mufflers you can choose from. Links are in the description below and pinned in the top comments. Number 3, the Flowmaster Super 10 for those who prefer sound over comfort. Drone is included in this. Number 2, the MagnaFloat Bullets, the happy medium, where mufflers blend sound without the drone. And number 1, the Goldilocks of mufflers in my opinion, the Boiler Pro XS, because it is quiet when you want it to be and gets louder when you put your foot down for a sporty tone. Perfect for daily driven cars. Now, there are a lot of people who comment on the videos of the Boiler XS mufflers and say that it's a waste of money, it sounds stock. But anyone who says that clearly shows their, well, we'll just call it their personality. And they argue that they could have just gotten anything else. But for example, there are people who can use certain words and tones for certain environments. And there are others who tend to be loud and obnoxious, to put it lightly, regardless of what environment they're in. More importantly, they express a lack of understanding of how sound from exhaust systems and engines work. Point 1 is that a lot of times they'll comment saying it's too quiet on the trucks and the truck's only revving partial throttle, so it's staying at low RPM. If you pick a car, any car, you tap the throttle lightly, you'll barely hear the car. You put half your foot on it, it'll get louder. You put your foot down, guess what? It's the loudest, right? Even at idle and partial revs, cars like the 911 GT3 or C706 are more quiet at idle and partial revs as the trucks that people hate on. If not, let's just say for conversation's sake, they're just as loud, right? Which they're not, especially with the valves closed. Even with the valves opened, again, my opinion, from what I could hear, they're not, but let's just say that they are. The principle still applies. And I say that because I've heard stock 911 GT3s and C706s, even with the valves open in person. But you can take that claim with a grain of salt. They're not that loud at all. You're not gonna wake up your neighbors, you're not gonna disrupt anybody. You won't even break any necks really unless somebody's looking at the car like, oh, sounds cool. But it's like, oh, it's quiet. Now, anyways, moving on to point 2. For whatever reason, I can't understand why people don't understand this next concept. What catback means in catback exhaust. Now, again, it seems self-explanatory, but it means that everything behind or the back of the catalytic converter is modified. But in this case, it's just the mufflers, which means the stock catalytic converter and the headers are still in use. But again, in this case, let's just say that 90% of the exhaust system from the headers back is stock. So don't you think these trucks would be louder or have a change of tone, even with Pro XS mufflers, if they had shorty headers, for example? Interesting. Which leads to point 3. If all you care about is noise, just do muffler delete. It's the cheapest thing to do and you get what you pay for, all right? There seems to be a lot of individuals who clearly don't care for how something sounds. They just want it to be loud. And something like that is honestly what you might say about many areas of society today. But we're not going to talk about that in depth. This is the car channel, right? But you know what I'm saying. It's a mentality of like, I like anything, but they'll choose a restaurant like McDonald's over a steakhouse, which really means not only do they not know what they don't like anything, and they don't know how to appreciate a good thing, right? But to stay on theme, one cannot say that they love music and only hear noise or make noise. One cannot say that they make music when they only just make noise. You can use any example of this, but comment below if you understand what I mean by that. And stay tuned because we're actually going to talk about exhaust setups in the next video. X pipes, H pipes, headers, different header designs, the list goes on for OBS trucks. And again, the mufflers mentioned, links in the description below and pinned in the top comment. Like, subscribe, and share if you don't know. Now you know, but do what you want to do.